Monday. Welcome. Let me pin the title. So I'm reading from New Daughters of Africa. Okay. How are you guys? Hey. So today we're tackling this big book, beautiful book of, it's an anthology. Let me pause. New Daughters of Africa is a international anthology of writing by women of African descent. Yeah, so I've been reading this every Monday. So every Monday it's New Daughters of Africa reading, and then every Tuesday it's feminist text from any feminist work that I have. Wednesdays it is the Gerald Crook Anthology Wednesdays, and then Thursday and Friday it's just any new books, which could be anywhere between all these that I get new. But thank you for those who just joined. If you haven't been joining the live reads, they are saved on IGTV and on YouTube under Bookamoso Book Club. So please subscribe. And this week I am launching a giveaway. I will post it on Instagram, and it'll only be for YouTube. So details will come through before the end of the week, definitely. How are you guys? I hope you are all well and you have been reading and you're able to read in between this crazy time that we're in. I managed to read a short story, like one short story during the weekend. So yeah, that didn't work out well because I'm currently reading Bomboy, this one. I'm supposed to be reading the Bomboy, but it's just, yeah, I'm struggling. But yes, so today I'm reading from Bernardine Evaristo's On Top of the World, which is her entry into this anthology. I will read the back of the book first so that you guys can understand why I'm reading this one, and then I will start with reading Bernardine's bio, and then I'll start with the story. So I'll keep on looking if there are any comments, and then I will continue. So here goes. New Daughters of Africa continues. So it starts with what the Sunday Times said about the book first, and then it starts with the blurb. 25 years ago, Margaret Busby's groundbreaking anthology, Daughters of Africa, illuminated the silent, forgotten, underrated voices of Black women. It's published to international acclaim. It was hailed as an extraordinary body of achievement, a vital document of lost history. New Daughters of Africa continues that mission for a new generation, bringing together a selection of overlooked artists of the past with fresh and vibrant voices that have emerged from across the globe in the last 2 decades, from Antigua to Zimbabwe and Angola to the USA. Key figures join popular contemporaries in paying tribute to the heritage that unites them. Each of the pieces in this remarkable collection demonstrates an uplifting sense of sisterhood, honors the strong links that endure from generation to generation, and addresses the common obstacles women writers of color face as they negotiate issues of race, gender, and class, and confront vital matters of independence, freedom, and oppression. Custom, tradition, friendships, sisterhood, romance, sexuality, intersectional feminism, the politics of gender, race, and identity, all and more are explored in this glorious collection of work from over 200 writers. New Daughters of Africa spans a wealth of genres: autobiography, memoir, oral history, letters, diaries, short stories, novels, poetry, drama, humor, politics, journalism, essays, and speeches to demonstrate the diversity and remarkable literary achievements of Black women who remain underrepresented and whose works continue to be underrated in world culture today. So yeah, it's got a whole bunch of women, awesome writers. And I got my copy from Africulture. This is available literally everywhere. You can buy it online. You can get it from Loot as well. I know some people here have bought it via Loot. So check that out. It is very big. So we're going through it every Monday. And if you have been missing them, they are saved on YouTube and here on IGTV. Okay, so today I'm reading from Bernardine Evaristo, who is a British Nigerian writer. She has published 8 books of fiction and verse fiction, exploring the African diaspora and numerous other performed and produced works. She is also a literary critic, editor and writer for BBC Radio. Her many awards and honors include an Arts Council Writers Award and a Nesta Fellowship Award for her 2001 verse novel, The Emperor's Babe, which was also a Times 100 Best Books of the Decade and was adapted into a BBC Radio 4 play. Her 2013 novel, Mr. Loverman, won the Jerwood Fiction Uncovered Prize and the Pharaoh Grumley Award for LGBT fiction in the USA. In the 1980s, she founded Britain's first Black women's theatre company, Theatre of Black Women, and has since founded many other important diversity arts initiatives. She is Vice Chair of the Royal Society of Literature, Professor of Creative Writing at Brunel University, London, and she was made MBE in 2009. And she won the 2019 Booker Prize and the Indie Book Award for her best-selling. Actually, I need to get that book. I think I do have it. I might not. I might be speaking ahead, but yeah, my book fairies might have bought me Girl, Woman, Other. That is the award that she's won recently. In 2020, she's won the British Book for Fiction Author of the Year. So check Bernardine Evaristo out if you haven't read her work yet. Yeah, so this is On Top of the World. And if you do have your book, it is on page 148, because I know there are other people who do have the book, who do visit the live book readings that I do. Yeah, so On Top of the World. I flew in across a sea packed with ice floes spelled Floes. The sky overcast, but the sun shooting rays through the clouds like the dawn of creation, and arrived at surely the smallest airport in the world, an outsized shed stuck in a clearing of slush and gravel. There was seating for 5 inside, and a middle-aged Inuit woman was with a smile that responded rather than offered. So an Inuit is an indigenous people of northern Canada. She didn't ask for my passport. She knew for sure I'd be returning home. Everyone did. England was equatorial compared to this most northerly part of the world, where summer stabilized at just below freezing and winters plummeted to -20. Soon enough, the helicopter was ready to take me on the last leg of my journey to a village for which it was the only access to the outside world, storms permitting. It and a ship that arrived yearly to offload essentials like prefab houses, satellite dishes, vitamins, and dried fruit. Nothing grew there except summer berries. The diet was, by necessity, carnivorous: seal, hare, polar bear, narwhal, and musquats. We took off across the mountains, the propeller whirring noisily as as its blades chopped up the sky. The other passengers' chatter annoyed me. I scowled. They politely turned away. I looked down at the earth beneath my feet, where snowy mountains dipped and peaked, and I fought the urge to activate the emergency lock and make the most dramatic exit, to free fall with an exhilarated fading away scream. An hour later, we landed on the top of a hillside. The small village of, hey guys, I had to Google this word. It's not even a word. It's the name of the place, and I had to listen to how it's pronounced, cause it is Itokwotwomit. Let me just. I'm typing out because it was so long. I even had to listen to the spelling of it. I hope I got that right. That's how you say it. But yeah, an hour later we landed on the top of a hillside. The small village of Itokwotwomit souped up from a frozen fjord. Its wooden bungalows all bright reds and yellows, prettily offset by a whole winter's worth of snow. I trudged to the waiting taxi, a skidoo, best suited to a village with no roads, just icy, undulating pathways. The young driver wore a padded orange jumpsuit and beckoned me to climb aboard. I sat behind as he hurled the beast bumpily along with no regard for his novice passenger. I tried to complain, but he feigned deafness, which was the story of my life. It was mid-morning. The village was deserted. Packs of sledge dogs chained up outside houses started howling like wolves as we zoomed past. There was no market here, only one store, no bars, no cinema, no internet cafe or bingo hall. Just a school, a hospital, a police station. We quickly arrived at my guide's house, Isa, he who would lead me out into the wilderness. A stout man in his mid-50s, he had deep-set eyes which required probing to see behind, something I wasn't prepared to do. He spoke in broken English, and I was soon attired in bulky Arctic fashion. Size 9 boots to accommodate 4 pairs of woolen socks, thermal leggings, 2 pairs of fleece trousers underneath sealskin ones, a fleece jacket, a sealskin parka with fur hood, earmuffs, hat, scarves, goose down mittens, and goggles. I felt as clumsy and heavy as a yeti, yet never more ready for my journey into the greatest unknown. Zentatu says that looks like a butt text. Itokwotwomit. We learn something new every day. Yes, Jane, right? I was like, what is that? How do you even say it? Itokwotwomit. And they say, like, the person, like, when you Google it, the pronunciation is so fast. Yeah. Anyway, so she's ready and she's feeling all clumsy and she's feeling as heavy as a yeti as she's about to go on to this great unknown. So she's decided to go and live in nowhere, basically. But yeah, Isa led me out to his sledge and 13 dogs who were straining at the leash. I kept my distance as instructed, as he began to untie them from a long chain and hook each one up with bright green rope so that they spread out before the sledge in a wide fan. They went wild then, barking, jostling for space, desperate to set off. The strongest dogs were tugging at the helm. The sledge had a low, sloping backrest against which I sat on bearskin, which covered luggage, tents, and sleeping bags. Hooked over the back were grubby plastic buckets containing the kitchen, which was basically a kerosene fire and a single saucepan. Isa sat up between me and a tiny white boat where our provisions were stored. I was exposed to the elements, and the seating was uncomfortable, but I didn't mind. Very quickly, Isa was issuing orders to the dogs, who began charging off across a fjord that was as interminable as an ocean. I couldn't believe I was there, finally, that for thousands of kilometers northwards, there were no other humans, only an ice cap 3,000 meters deep, which was pushing the land back into the sea with its weight. And beyond that lay the Arctic Ocean and the North Pole. We traveled across the frozen desert and out onto the sea ice, which resembled frosted glass. It was scary at first. Far below, I could hear the hollow rumble of water. When the ice was flat, the dogs raced ahead, tongues panting, releasing themselves on the job. It was a vision of flying, smelly excrement of jets of urine, which formed beautiful fluorescent yellow flowers in the luminous snow. Sometimes the snow was so deep the dogs almost slowed to a full stop. Or we came upon frozen waves which rose up in large, jagged lumps where the tide had pushed up against snow and solidified. The sledge ran over them and landed with a spine-shattering bump. Sculpted icebergs, 100 feet high, were always somewhere to be seen on the horizon. I love huskies, yes, right? Hello, hi everybody. Carved from glaciers years ago, they sailed slowly downstream in summer, getting trapped in ice in winter before the melting water released them again. I never got used to the crystal clear visibility, which made everything appear nearer than it actually was. Icebergs half a day away looked like I could sprint there in a mere 20 minutes. On sunny days, the ice was so bright it was blue. I drowned in the cold voluptuousness of it all, feeling the space in my head open up. I didn't wash for 5 days, but to my surprise, I barely noticed. We boiled snow for drinking water. It was delicious. I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anyone or anything. How could I? This was the world as it should be, without mankind. This was the trip of my life, and I would never feel such harmony again. This was my new beginning. I would not crave an afterwards. Back home, I called my local high road the River of Phlegm. I needed a wetsuit just to wade to the post office. I'd begun to wear surgical gloves to avoid contact with the sticky residue of soiled fingers on shopping baskets, toilet handles or cafe tables. Then I stopped using public transport altogether. I had a little runaround for sitting in traffic jams mostly, to and from work. For 2 hours every working day, I'd be trapped behind smoking exhaust pipes, assaulted by a cacophony of impatient horns and the kind of free-for-all jazz improvisation designed to give you a major headache. I'd be hypnotized by the rain dance of my leggy, knobbly-kneed window wipers, my not waving but drowning window wipers. Left, right, squeak. Left, right, squeak. That was life before the letter plopped harmlessly through my letterbox one Saturday morning a month ago. And it read, Elizabeth Ekundayo, as you are aware, complaints, due process, and so we have no option to terminate your contract. After 15 years of seeing the same faces every morning, the same friendly faces, I later realized the people who heard my words, if not my thoughts. Liking the cold is not in my DNA, but I'd been drawn to Greenland for years, to its emptiness. It was so different to the England I knew, where nobody really knew me, and the Nigeria I didn't know, where my father had returned before I was born, 2 years before my mother died. I was not protected from the people I was told to call my parents. Sure. I was not protected from the people I was told to call my parents. A plaything. I escaped at 16. I made my way. On the 6th day, Isa hunted seal at the tide crack, where the frozen sea met the flowing sea. He waited patiently, lying prostrate with his rifle for the head of a seal to bob up. When it did, he shot it. The Inuit believe that an animal agrees to be killed. They enter into a contract with the hunter. He got into the boat, rowed out, and brought the seal back. He gutted and skinned it, throwing chunks to the slithering dogs, who devoured it in seconds. He cooked seal ribs for dinner, accompanied by powdered mashed potato, our staple vegetable. It was a fine meal. There's an extended twilight here. It won't get dark now until winter, when it stays dark for months. In summer, the sun doesn't set for months. This is the in-between time. This is spring. I shiver in my silver bubble tent. It must be minus 20 degrees. Isa sleeps in his tent on the other side of the dogs, who are chained in a long line which is staked at both ends to prevent their nighttime inter-canine battles. They're used to me now, so they don't create havoc when I appear outside my tent. We're camped in front of a glacier. Spread out before me is an Arctic beach stretching out to infinity. The snow is so dry and flat it's like sand. An iceberg shaped like a ship rears against the sky. This is how I imagine the moon to be, so isolated, so strange, so utterly devastating. I have removed my sealskin outerwear and put on my trainers. I won't get very far in them, but I want to walk a while towards the iceberg, which is miles away. My footprints will be a record of where I have gone. If the ice doesn't melt, they might still be here next winter, and the next one, and the one afterwards. There's a thought, still here, somewhere. The cold will numb my feet first, then creep up through my limbs and freeze me in the act of walking. I will become the most extraordinary ice sculpture. I will become one with the planet I came from. This is how I've long imagined it. Sure. Okay. Oh, hi. Those guys, please follow those who travel meet themselves. So there's a comment. You know you are privileged when you have had loving parents. Sure. I wonder if it tastes like chicken. Is that, oh, that's Jane. And then Sal says everything tastes like chicken. I would imagine that seal meat tastes like chicken as well. Because, I mean, everything tastes like chicken except meat and bacon. So that was Bernardine Evaristo's On Top of the World. The feeling I'm getting from the story is that she had been living a very lonely life. The character, Elizabeth Okundayo, um, initially, before even the decision to go and live there or travel there, um, she'd been living this silent, quiet life, minding her own business, doing work, waking up this morning, going to work, coming back. You know, her life was a routine until that moment came. Um, yeah, and I feel like Bernardine put this her feelings uh, into words that are so descriptive. Like you can actually feel the cold. You can feel the quietness of this place where she is, where there's just a school, where there's just a hospital and a police station. You know, Ms. Vana says, "Love that." So descriptive. It transports to the North Pole. Yeah. Sure. I love how simple it's written as well. And you can feel it when she receives that letter that tells her that her contract has been terminated. And I mean, why do people even send letters? Why can't you just talk to me when I'm at work? Like a letter that arrives on a Saturday. And after 15 years, one would imagine that a person would want to, like, I mean, have a meeting with me. Ugh, that was so. Ugh. I feel like there's more to it. I want to find out if there's more to this. Does she die in the ice? You know? Because I mean, she says the cold will numb my feet first, then creep up through my limbs and freeze me in the act of walking. I will become the most extraordinary life ice sculpture. I will become one with the planet I came from. This is how I've long imagined it. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I always forget to use my mic. What are you guys reading? How long have you, like, guys, I'm really taking my time with books this time. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm in a slump. Dust. Okay, I hate. Hold on. Let me just check here. I don't like saying people's usernames. I want to see. Jado. Hi, Jado. A little bit about books and creativity. Hi. I got an email that I was being retrenched. That's what Jado's saying. Like, I don't understand why would love that title on top of the world can be a metaphor for our individual peace abode. Yes, where we feel on top of the world. True. So she's basically imagined her death. Yes, that's what I'm getting as well. I'm so sorry about that. Zindatu's also saying that sorry to you, Jado, that you were being retrenched. This is a very difficult time that we're living in right now, and I would assume that they didn't have any other means to even break the story. That like the story, the fact that they like cutting off people, but like a letter. It could have taken months to get there. I mean, a person is still going to work every day and they're sending you a letter, you know? But yeah, I would assume that her being on top of the world is what that whole thing of, and you know how I realized that she's never coming back when she gave her when she gave the middle-aged Inuit women with a smile that responded rather than offered. She didn't ask for my passport. She knew for sure I'd be returning home. So, no, I thought I was misunderstanding that part where I thought that she thought that the lady was thinking that she wasn't ever going to come back, you know? So there was no need for her to give her passport. Hey Sarah, hi everybody who came in late. Please check out New Daughters of Africa. I just read from Bernardine Evaristo's On Top of the World. And yeah, we were just discussing how, like, what we think of it. And sure, it's so beautifully written though. I could imagine being cold even. Like, and she's imagined dying, she's imagined dying in that state, and it was peaceful for her. um yeah, I'll to next week's reading will be fun. I promise. I'm gonna look for a story that's happier. I don't know, this one has left me like thinking, sure, she must have lived a sad life before deciding this. But yes, that was today's reading, guys. Today I'm finishing early. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did miss it, it will be loaded up on IGTV, and I will load it up on YouTube. Yes, Jane says picturesque. Yes, one could imagine being in the ice, cold, and all those layers and layers upon layers of clothing that she's wearing, and she's feeling all awkward, but she's actually so happy. Yeah. Ms. Viner says, I'm sampling Mandela's Ego by Lewis Nkosi. I got it today. Don't judge. Oh, no, I'm not judging you. Because, like, okay, so we've been trying to stay away from buying books, guys. We've bought so many books. This is my haul from last week. There's one book that came in from a pre-loved store. Sure. Oh my goodness. So, okay. Dust Jackets and Cover and Duvers says, buying this book soon. So beautifully written and read. Thank you. Jado. Jado. Okay. I hope that's how I say your. I see on your profile you've written Jado. Yeah. Zindatu says, this reminds me of a book I read by a South African businesswoman who summited Mount Everest. The stories about how people die up there is quite similar to this. Ah, okay. Also, when she was describing this, I also remembered on on this book, I Choose to Live, Life After Losing Gugu. This is Lesotho Zulu's account of what happened. Sure, 2016. So 18th July 2016, Lesotho Zulu lost Gugu Letu Zulu, when they were summiting Mount Everest. So yeah, this description in this story, On Top of the World, of the cold weather, yeah, it just reminded me of that as well. Jado. Okay, so it is Jado. Thank you for confirming that. Hopefully another better door will open for you soon. That is what at JHB Pre-Love. That's where oh yeah, at JHB Pre-Love Books also is on Instagram selling pre-loved books. So check that out as well. Hopefully you will get something, Jado. Yes. We need some pain relievers. Yes, all the shopping is leading to that. Miss Vina, no, I'm not judging, but yeah. So that is something else to look for. What is it? Mandela's Ego by Lewis Nkosi. So okay, so everybody is I see there's something here. Let me just see if there is something. Okay, no. I thought there was a question. But yeah, that was today's reading, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed that. I do have a YouTube channel now where I load all the videos for archiving and for people who are not able to join in on the lives. So I will load this live and every other one that I've done before. I've loaded previously. So there are about 30 plus videos uploaded onto YouTube. You can check that out. And I will see you guys tomorrow, Tuesday, for some feminist reading. Yes. So that was it for Black Girl Magic Monday. That's what we're calling it. Your skin is glowing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sintatu, thank you so much. So Ms. Vina says Lewis Nkosi was from the drum era. Writes beautifully and very poetic. Yes, we love that. We love poetic writing. So you'll let me know how it is on the reading group. But thank you guys. That was today's reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you, Zintatu. Thank you, Kumbu, Portia, Ms. Vina, Jedo, and Jane. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you guys tomorrow at 5. Bye.